giving you guys a small update on New Frontier Craft. And before you watch the rest of this video, click on a link down in the description. I want you to watch a video on the main Quistones channel before you end up watching the rest of this. Now, it might have sounded like I was considering just going with one thing, and if I did go with like StarMade or something, I would ditch New Frontier Craft. Well, I'm not going to do that quite yet, of course. I still haven't really given New Frontier Craft its chance because I still haven't released 1.8.5. So where am I at with this? Well, this alpha biome thing has been proving to be more of a problem than I expected. I will be experimenting a little bit further with trying to implement this properly, but my current issue is when the alpha biome forms, it doesn't look very good. What I'm trying to do right now is incorporate it into, like, sort of the box of how like the biomes are determined, like the temperature and the humidity, and sort of like within that area I'm putting the alpha biome somewhere. But because it ends up being a small portion because I want it to be rare, it ends up looking like not good. It's not like a large biome that you suddenly find yourself in the alpha. It looks very intrusive in the beta terrain because it's not very big. The rarer I make it, the smaller it gets. But then if I make it bigger, then it's not really a rarity, but it's just kind of here and there. And I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be a rare, large biome. So I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate this. But nonetheless, I might really not be able to figure it out unless I want to add in a whole slew of code. And the other issue is I've been starting to have an error on the Bukkit server, and it's basically the chunks load incorrectly, and it throws an error that I just need to restart the server, and then the error doesn't come back for that chunk, and the chunk is now correctly generated or something. And it's a real issue, because if you have a lot of people playing and they're exploring out and suddenly, I mean, the more people there are, the quicker the server decides to crash. And I have no idea where this is happening, because all I know is that the chunk is having an error. And that could be from so many different things. So I've kind of whittled it down to this question. Do you guys really want an alpha biome? Because if you guys really have no, like, real need for having an alpha biome in New Frontier Craft, I might just kind of put the code aside of what I've done, try to fix the bug up and not have, like, the alpha biome totally incorporated yet, and just add it in later. And I'll focus on something new this time, and I believe this needs to happen quicker because it's such an important thing to old Minecraft in the adventure of exploration. I'm going to add in some new types of dungeons, or not just maybe dungeons that are in the ground, but new types of structures that generate on the surface. I'm not going to go big, but I'm going to start on something. This was planned for New Frontier Craft 1.0, which is after 1.9 and 1.0, but I realized after playing Super Hostile with my friend Evan how important the adventure of exploration was in old Minecraft. Like, I really need to emphasize that. That was like one of the biggest key things of old Minecraft, I believe. So I want to add in some new stuff that you can find in the terrain. And I mean, alpha biome could be one of them if I end up making it happen. But if you guys think I should focus on dungeons and whatnot, vote down below. I'm kind of working on New Frontier Craft as a hobby right now. It's not really something I'm putting a lot of time into, but as you saw in the video, I'm considering putting it out on a what do you want to call it? A lot of people were suggesting it in a previous video. Open sourcing, I think that's what it's called. I mean, that alone, that it took me that long to figure it out, and I said, I think that's what it's called. I have no experience with open sourcing. I heard from my friend, or my roommate, he was like, if you open source it, people might take it and sort of develop their own thing off of your New Frontier Craft, which I'm not quite sure if I want that to happen. But of course I'd love for other people to hop in and build this with me. And I mean, as I said, one of I was actually kind of ignoring those comments for a little while because I wanted New Frontiercraft to be about me, but now this guy over here is telling me that's not going to be successful. So we'll see. What do you guys want? Do you guys want Alphabime, or do you guys want some new stuff generated into the drain? New stuff, new structures generated into the terrain that you can find. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with open sourcing. I need to do a little bit of investigation. If you guys have any like things you want to put in about open sourcing that you know, or like videos I could watch that give me a good idea of what would do, or give me a good idea of where I could find people who would help develop, I don't know. Throw them in the comments. I would love to see some feedback here. Thanks for watching, and hopefully New Frontiercraft will be a thing.